Hi guys, my name is Michelle and I'm going to be your teacher for today. Our topic is called photosynthesis. So what is photosynthesis? Sounds like a big word. Let's break it down. Let's break it down into two words. What should these words be? Photo and synthesis. Easy enough, right? Now, what is photo and what is synthesis? Photo is a Greek word for light. Light. Now, what does synthesis mean? Synthesis is also a Greek word, which means to build or create something. So, since synthesis means to build or create something, and light means light. Light means photo. So, what was photosynthesis for me? Let's put it like this. So, basically, photosynthesis is the process by which plants use light energy to create their food. They also use other substances like water, minerals, and carbon dioxide. Now, how do all of this get into the plants? Now, this is a plant, and I'm going to differentiate it into two parts, the root system and the shoot system. Now, this part of the plant is called the shoot system. Shoot system. Now, this part of the plant is called the root system. Root system. Now, this part of the plant, that is the root system, brings in water and minerals. Water and minerals. Water and minerals. Now, the shoot system, on the other hand, brings in carbon dioxide, the one we breathe out, and sunlight, as you can see. Now, how exactly do both of them enter? Sunlight gets absorbed by the plant and enters the organelle called chloroplast. Now, that's not the end. It enters the organelle inside the chloroplast called the chlorophyll. Then, the chlorophyll reflects that light and reflects it as green, which is why most plants seem green. Now, the chlorophyll reflects red and blue light, which makes green. Now, where does carbon dioxide come through from? Now, carbon dioxide comes through little tiny openings called the stomata, which can be found on the leaves. Stomata. Now, as for water minerals, those ones enter through the roots. That's why they are classified under the roots system. So, now that we know how all of them enter in plants, what are the processes that are involved in photosynthesis? Easy, there are just two. Better yet, call them reactions. Now, there's just two, like I said. Light dependent reactions. And light independent reactions. Now, let's start with light independent reaction. Now, what does all of that dependence, light, those have to do with? Okay, so light dependent reactions. From the word dependence, you can see that that reaction needs something to depend on, and in that case, that thing to depend on is light. And since it depends on light, this reaction happens in the chloroplast, particularly the thalcoid. Thalcoid to chloroplast. Okay. So the cellular respiration, but we'll get to that later. Now let's go to light independent reaction. Now, from the word independent, what can we get from that? This means it doesn't need the light to depend on, like light dependent reaction. It's, let's say, the total antonym of dependence. Now, they are also, like the independent reactions, are also called dark reactions or Calvin cycle. Now, they are called dark reactions because they need no light. And Calvin. Now, what are the products gotten from photosynthesis? Surely there has to be a product gotten from photosynthesis, unless there's no point of the process itself. Okay, there are two main processes. Products gotten from photosynthesis, and those are: one, sugar, particularly glucose; two, oxygen gas. Now you can see the compound C6H12O6. O2. Now, that glucose sugar is what the plant mostly consume. Meanwhile, the oxygen is just breathed out by the plants, which is what we breathe in. That is why people were saying staying next to plants is good for you. Now there's one more person we haven't talked about that contributes to this photosynthesis, and that's human beings. Without human beings, we cannot get most, like about 90% of the carbon dioxide that we give to the plants. And at the same time, without plants, there will be barely any oxygen around. There will only be artificial oxygen, which is not really that good, or atmospheric oxygen. So that's why they call plants the lungs of the world. Now, apart from photosynthesis, there are other processes that are involved in with all that 4 substances used in photosynthesis, and that is called cellular respiration. Now you might be wondering, what is cellular respiration and where does it come from? Now, cellular respiration is the exact opposite of photosynthesis. Now, cellular respiration turns glucose and oxygen back to carbon dioxide. And the other substances. So, as you can see, they are the exact opposite. In photosynthesis, the reactants are those 4: water, oxygen, light, and water, carbon dioxide, water, carbon dioxide, light, and minerals. But instead, glucose and oxygen, which are supposed to be the products in photosynthesis, are the reactants. And then the products are carbon dioxide and the other substances. So as you can see, both of them are antonyms of each other. Now, I hope you've learned enough from watching this video. Thanks for listening, and watch out for my next videos. Bye.